If you're anything like me, you love the great outdoors, you love the birds chirping, you love going camping, but you may also struggle to sleep outside comfortably. If that sounds like you, I think you're really gonna love today's video. Hey guys, I'm JD with CNET Home. Hopefully you're doing well. And we are taking a break today from our regularly scheduled online mattress review programming to bring you a review of the first sleeping hammock tent of its kind. This is the Haven Safari tent. It's basically a combination of the three things I like to take with me camping. It's your hammock, it's your tent, and it's also your bed. If you get something out of today's review of this thing, click the like button on this video and also consider subscribing to our YouTube channel if you want to see more outdoor sleep related product reviews. Now, full disclosure here, guys, I personally am terrible at sleeping outside, always have been. Every air mattress I've ever slept on eventually deflates underneath me on the ground, causing me to wake up on the hard forest floor. I'd go for an RV, but what kind of online mattress reviewer has that kind of money these days? In this economy, D-Pain?
No way.
I don't think so. So when I came across this product online, I was immediately intrigued by it. I quickly reached out to the brand Haven, who kindly sent me their Haven Safari tent package to test and review. So I've been testing this thing out for a few months now, and it has honestly completely revolutionized my outdoor sleeping experience. I sleep comfortably on camping trips I never used to, and I've got a lot to say about this thing today. So in today's review, I'm gonna briefly cover the policies it's backed by, then I'll go over its overall design and setup process. I'll talk about how it feels to sleep in. I'll talk about the types of sleepers that are gonna benefit from it the most. I'll talk about its price point, what I like about it, what I don't, and who I think it's ultimately gonna work best for. So the Haven Safari is backed by some pretty nice policies that are pretty standard for the outdoor camping industry. Unlike bed-in-a-box policies, you get completely free shipping, same as a bed-in-a-box in that case, but you actually get 60 nights instead of a 100-night trial period with the Haven Safari. This is your chance to see if it's gonna be right for you or not. If not, for whatever reason, you can send it back for completely free or exchange it for another Haven tent, which I think is pretty nice to have. But if you end up wanting to keep your Haven Safari tent, it is backed by a 1-year limited warranty. So the Haven Safari shipped to our office for completely free, and it actually arrived in a box that looked like it would hold something like a microwave. It was pretty dang small considering the amount of things that were inside. So in that box, the Haven Safari full kit includes the hammock body with the bug net, the waterproof rain fly, the spreader bars, 2 of those. You get 2 tree straps to hang up the tent with. You get 4 guy lines, 4 stakes for those guy lines, 2 carabiners to help string up the tent to the actual tree straps. And you get some other items as well, like a free bunting banner and welcome mat even. So that's pretty nice if you want to get out of this tent with your bare feet and don't want them to touch the forest floor. And of course, I almost forgot to mention, you get that insulated sleeping pad that comes with a Haven Safari. It's really nice, really soft on top and super durable on the bottom. So that was the overall setup of the Haven tent, but now I want to go over its overall design. And the canvas hammock body is super durable on the Haven Safari. It is their most heavy-duty option, and you can definitely tell that it is comprised of a very durable material. I've been testing this thing out for a few months, as I've alluded to, and there are no tears, rips whatsoever after extensive use on this thing. The bug net on the Haven Safari is also super breathable. I think without the waterproof rain fly, you're gonna be getting tons of airflow circulating through this tent body. The rain fly itself is also very durable and completely waterproof. If you're camping in a super rainy area, you've got nothing to worry about. I think you're gonna stay plenty dry. You can attach this rain fly to the hammock body itself, or you can string it up with some guidelines and stake it down to kind of circulate airflow through the hammock body. The spreader bars that you can put in the tent body do increase the overall sleeping surface area. It kind of widens the gap of the Haven tent a little bit. And so I think those are super clutch. Without them, I think you'd be kind of confined in this thing. There's an adjustable strap underneath the head section of the Haven tent, so that's pretty nice to have if you maybe want to sit up and adjust your sleep setup a little bit more when it comes to your neck and head. And the tree straps, while being pretty short and also kind of dirty right now, are very, very durable. I've never experienced any slippage with them. I think they're plenty durable. I always feel supported by them. And then also you have these interior pockets within the hammock body where you can put in whatever's in your pockets after a long night of camping, your glasses, your phone, maybe even a light. Now, speaking of a light, the cool thing about Haven is that they offer so many add-ons and accessories with the Haven tent. You can actually get like a ridge light that runs along the top of your hammock for, you know, a nice LED feature on it. You can get exterior night lights for really quick and handy light when you're maybe camping in the middle of the night, you want to get up, go to the bathroom, you have those. They even have a repair kit, a power pump, and a lot of other things to peruse. But enough chit chat about all the accessories and add-ons. Let's talk about how this sucker's actually gonna feel when you're in it. And right now, as you can see, I'm in it and I am feeling really comfy. This is bar none one of the comfiest sleeping experiences I've ever had outdoors. I think it beats the heck out of sleeping on the ground on an air mattress. You definitely have a weightlessness sensation, and it's really nice, especially for back sleeping. Haven claims as a brand that you can sleep in their tents in pretty much any sleeping position. I think you can sleep pretty comfortably on your side. It may also take some time getting used to this position in the Haven tent, but I don't think stomach sleeping is really where it's at in this thing. When I go to my actual stomach in the Haven tent, it's pretty nice, like it's not too bad, but it does bow slightly in the middle a little bit more than I would like. I think one of the things that they could add to this tent would be an adjustable strap like this one right here that runs along the middle of it to kind of give it more of a zone support feature and kind of tighten up under your trunk and the mass of your body while you're on your stomach sleeping in this thing. But that is just my personal opinion about the sleeping positions that can get by in this thing. And I wanted to get another person's take on it. On our team, we actually let Allie and Dylan try it out. They took it on a camping trip to the California coast, and here's what they thought about it.
Hey guys, it's Allie and Dylan with CNET. Today we're going to try hanging up the Haven tent. We have no idea how to set it up, so
yeah, we were thrown into this.
So bear with us here.
Let's go. You're like a little caterpillar.
Yeah, okay. Now it's starting to make more sense to me visually.
It should be called the cocoon. Ooh. I've decided. Probably trademarked. Dang it, Saley.
Hi. All right, I'm inside the Haven tent. It's hanging precariously in between the two trees. But it is pretty cozy. I was just saying, if I was any taller than I am, I'm pretty short. I think it would feel, well, I would say if you're like 6 feet or taller, it might feel a little claustrophobic. You might not have enough room for your legs. I do have plenty of headspace right now. Let me try getting more in the middle, maybe. Does that look like the middle?
I think so.
Okay, maybe? Okay, it actually is decent size. It's cozy. I was just hanging here for a second and could feel it swaying a little bit, and it's pretty relaxing. If the weather was nice, I probably wouldn't even put the rain fly on because it's nice seeing the trees through here when you're laying there. I like that I'm off the ground, honestly. Once you get over the initial fear of it potentially falling off of the trees, it's nice.
I'm scared still. Dabba-dee-dabba-die. So, you just believe in yourself?
And you can do anything.
Are you sure about that? That's why.
It's actually decently big.
It's decently big. I'm about 6 foot and I fit very much in this, but as you can tell, I cannot stop rocking, and you may like that. I wish it would end. This is really cozy.
Right?
This is nice. This is like the comfiest hammock you could ever imagine.
Mm-hmm.
If this was actually your only tent though,
Yeah.
I feel like there's some drawbacks. If you don't have the perfect trees, if something goes wrong with any of the ropes, you're donezo. Your tent's on the ground and it wouldn't be a tent. But if everything goes right, if you have the perfect trees at your campsite, this is a really cool tent. Especially if you're just like going for a couple nights and you just want to be quick and easy, because it's light packing. I think this tent would be really cool. It's very cozy.
I feel like you don't even really need a pillow because it curves upwards so much that your head is already elevated. So if that's the case, one less thing you have to worry about while you're camping. If you did have a pillow, you'd want it to be super thin. Otherwise your neck's gonna be cranked up.
Okay, so my final thoughts are, it's honestly really cool. It's a cool idea.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty easy to set up. Like if we had to do it again, we could do that really fast. I like it if I sleep on my back or my side. Stomach's a no-go. Don't need a pillow. The only real concerns I have is you need the exact right trees-ish. Like give or take, what, 5-ish feet?
Yeah, I would say. We kind of lucked out with these trees right here, but like I said, our campsite didn't have that, so we had to find a different campsite. So we will not be sleeping in it tonight. Overall, I think it's a really cool idea, and I look forward to seeing what the rest of the sleep team thinks about it.
God, they are the best, aren't they? They tested that thing out on their vacation. So good. Now at this point in the video, I do want to go over some minor gripes that I have with this product. Keep in mind, this is only based off of my observations and my personal opinion when it comes to sleeping in the Haven Safari. But one major thing that you got to know is that this is a solo sleeping experience. You cannot sleep with your partner in the Haven tents. Unless you and your partner are really petite and you really like to cuddle at night, I think it's just gonna be a little bit too small for couples in general. The second thing has to do with motion. So since this is a hammock, it's obviously gonna sway a little bit as you move around in it. It's gonna kind of move with you. This could give you sort of a rockabye baby sensation or just give you downright motion sickness. So you kind of want to be aware of like the type of sleeper you are and if you enjoy that or not. You know, you can use one of those guy lines to kind of strap it to a tree and mitigate a lot of that motion. So that's kind of something that's good to know. But I think the biggest drawback for the Haven Safari tent by default is the length of the tree straps. I think it's just kind of a bummer. You can't really set this thing up in absolutely any tree setup. I think you are gonna have to spend up for those whoopee slings to kind of make it a little bit more versatile from a setup perspective. It's just kind of a bummer. 6 feet sounds pretty long for a tree strap, but it's ultimately kind of limiting. But I think the crowning jewel of the Haven Safari tent setup, other than it being a really unique product, is its sleeping pad. It's just a very comfortable and durable sleeping pad. One of the nicest I've ever tested. I think you could actually take it out and sleep with it in a tent and be really accommodated by it. Now, one thing I should also mention here, if you want to avoid the short tree straps or just the trees in general, Haven makes something called the Hammock Hitch Mount. And this is basically a stand that you can attach to your truck or your car, and then you can just basically have the Haven tent set up on the back of your own whip. That's awesome, especially if you're like camping in the desert or something. Now that hitch mount is around the exact same price of the actual Haven Safari tent, so you're pretty much going to be doubling the price, but I think it could be worth it for a lot of people out there. All right, so I know what you're thinking. This looks pretty expensive. How much is it exactly gonna cost me? Well, considering the level of quality that you're getting here, the durability of this one-of-a-kind hammock sleeping experience, I think it's not bad price-wise. The Haven Safari currently retails for right around $355 flat. Now keep in mind, Haven makes 2 other tents that are a little bit more affordable. They have their flagship Haven tent, which is more lightweight, better for backpackers. Then they have the Haven XL, which is pretty much the slightly more dumbed down version of this tent. To put things into perspective for you, I have an REI half dome tent. That's what I usually have used for my camping excursions. And that is around the same price of the Haven tent. And here, you're not just getting a tent, you're getting a bed and a hammock. And I think that's well worth it. Now be sure to check down below in the description. We might have a pretty nice discount code to help save you a good amount of money on the Haven Safari tent, or maybe another one of the Haven tents. But that pretty much sums it up for my official thoughts on the Haven Safari tent. Personally, I love this thing. It's completely changed the game when it comes to my experiences with sleeping outside. I'm gonna use it for years to come, I think. Bad news for my partner, but now let's give you a short and sweet final verdict. I definitely consider getting it if you're more of a solo camper who's interested in a suspended sleeping experience that's super cozy and quite durable, and you're more of a primary back sleeper in particular. I think, again, side sleepers can get by in this thing, and maybe even some stomach sleepers, but that may depend on a case-by-case basis for you. By default, this setup is perfect for somewhere like the Pacific Northwest, where there's plenty of trees to choose from in a camping area, and that's gonna be your best bet. Out here in the high desert, it's a little bit more limiting. We're gonna have to get the whoopee slings or maybe even the hitch mount for the desert. But you know, let us know what you guys think about this review. If you enjoyed it, like it and subscribe to our YouTube channel for a lot more. Again, hit the description box to see my full written review that I actually did on this thing, but that's gonna do it with this one. That's D-Pain, the pain train behind the camera. I'm JD. Like always, we'll see you in the next one.